Then after taking position, then I start thinking of my clients. So, and again, I don't think, generally speaking, that, brokers, we are based, we are just commission-based people. We are not taking our capitalization does not really mean that makes you a full-fledged broker, because you are acting on behalf of the client. You live on commission. So what I don't know is that 300 million going to be deposited with some organization in case of any fraud? If that, but that is not what they are saying, because there is a special fund for that too. There is a special fund that when you err, especially when you default clients, I mean, you go to that area and you have the fund, they use it to compensate clients. But if you now have additional capital of 300 million, I mean, safe trading.
Well, it will make sure that the operator behaves itself now and conducts itself in an appropriate manner as regards how it trades on the floor.
That's what I'm saying. Well, self first. I can create accounts, fictitious accounts, whether you like it or not. It's unfortunate, but if you have that kind of money, the likelihood that you will deviate from servicing your directed clients to yourself is there. Even trading in box, as it is now, thank God that maybe SEC and NSC do go to various houses to see your box load. When they see your box load and it has been held for quite some time, they advise you to sell, so that you don't use it to continue, defrauding the clients or trying to protect it. You have a limited number of, months you hold on box. But if you now decide to have client B, C, D, E, without identifying properly who they are because you have excess money, I mean, what does it mean? It becomes a little bit, problematic for you to take decision on behalf of your client. So
let me quickly get your sorry to cut you. Let me quickly get your view on this. Some have actually argued that it's not about how much a capital market operator has that guarantees appropriate behavior, but the level of corporate governance. Do you share this view?
Yeah, to that extent, I do share that view. Even if you look at one of the things that SEC just did lately was to investigate ETI, one of the listed companies, about corporate governance. We all know that ETI is a very big bank. They have operations in about 23 countries in Africa. So that tells you how big they are. They have cash. They can always raise cash at any point in time that they want it. But then there are issues of governance, corporate governance that the SEC found out and had to be announced to the SEC. So that I'm just trying to use that one as an analogy to tell you that yes, to a very large extent, the amount of capital you have doesn't really matter, but corporate governance. However, we've seen what happened in the banking sector, where even in the insurance sector, where we require this capital to be able to expand the kind of business that we do. We've said that the capital market is recovering. We've seen that the market cap has grown to our pre-crisis period. Now, what does that mean? We need to support that market. We need to ensure that trading activity continue to happen to support that. And how do we do that? We need to increase and expand our activities as well. So, increasing capital base might actually help that as well to make sure that happens. And again, like you said, it does a lot of protection. It's not about just serving the client or do proprietary trading alone, like for instance they're trying to point out. Yeah, those are issues as well. But when it comes to this kind of thing, there's always opposite side. The only thing that SEC need to do, which they said they have done, is to consult and make sure that everybody does it at the same time. Okay.
But looking at the whole situation, would you say that the Commission has a political will to ensure that for companies that actually go wrong in terms of corporate governance, like right now we have them investigating ETI, for companies such as that, do they have the political wills to give punitive measures?
Yeah, I would say yes, they do have that. I mean, again, there is a lot of trend, there is a lot of transition. There are things that are happening. We were saying before that the SEC wasn't doing enough, but now they started doing some things. If you check their website, there's some action that they took in the late 2013 that showed that they are now ready to go out long and be punitive to anybody that heard. We heard about the case about Sterling registrars and some other capital market operators. We had the one with Ficard Securities, Resource Savings and Loan, African Prudential. I mean, so many things. And you saw the kind of decision they took. Okay, some of you had to pay fine, some of you, the license had to be withdrawn, some could be banned live for trading in the capital market. Yes, those are the things that, and most, if you look at what really happened there, most of the issues there, they are corporate governance issues. Because things were done that were wrong, but the company did not know, because some of the principals or agents of the companies are the people doing that stuff. And company exists as a legal entity, but human being runs it. So, but if there are corporate governance that show that this is the limit of what you can do at any point in time alone, then you probably check some of these things. So now if SEC continue with that, resolving some issues that have been done. I mean, if you look at it, most of these issues have happened since the pre-crisis period or during the crisis.
Yeah, speaking of one of the issues that happened, before 2013, there was this issue of AP shares that, there was insider trading on it and all the rest. Has it been resolved?
No,
because it seems as if it's just been there. It's also part of, this issue of unlawful allotment and authorized sale of shares. Did the regulator actually handle most of those issues properly? Because we still have some of them pending.
The issue, the way I'm going to answer that is that you look at our judicial system in Nigeria, it takes a lot of time to resolve every case, whether it is criminal case, civil case, or even commercial case. That's why a lot of people have been asking that there should be separate court for commercial activities because of the speed that need to be sorted out. Now, the capital market created the IST in order to speed up some of the kind of capital market related issues because of the speed that need to be done. But it takes time for you to get to that
the
level.
Investment Securities Tribunal.
Yeah. And that's again another android panel committee of the SEC that ratifies so many things that happen and that kind of thing. So what you have seen is that yes, we've had all these series of issues all along, but now, like the step the SEC is taking now, it appears as if they are now ready to be dealing with those cases and closing them immediately. Beforehand, it wasn't happening. But now, what we have seen in 2013, because I mean, look at most of the cases that happened in 2008. It happened around even before the issue of the AP that you said. And again, it has to take through some investigation, so many information had to be required, and so many things. With this action that SEC has taken, what it tells other capital market regulators is that these guys are now ready to throw the stick for anybody that hurt. And that's going to happen. So it takes time. Yeah, I agree with you. There are some issues, but at least some have been dealt with. And if you have 1,000 criminals, you can't take all of them at the same time because there are even no prisons that they're going to keep all of them anyway. So it has to start from the first 10 or 20.
Well, Vincent, well, it's quite an interesting analogy there. But Vincent, do you also take that stand? You share the same view as Femi?
Yes, I do, to a large extent. Like he has pointed the key areas, and again, I would just add that if you see the collaboration between the NSC and SEC, there is a great change now. Unlike before, there are areas that all of them were they were just autonomous on their own. But you can see SEC coming in to say they do the right thing, and NSC equally, self-regulated and doing the right thing too. So I think a lot of changes, really occurred, and the most important thing is that people are beginning to know that the laws that have been there before were really in the doldrum, but it has been reactivated and can work. It's just like all these amendments in the National Assembly, people talking that they're doing. There's no law that we don't have. But like what you asked, the political will to do many things is what we are just, crying for. If we can do, the laws are there, but who are the people to implement and do the right thing? The things have started happening. You can see a lot of delisted companies. You can see many, being listed too for not, ordinary, showing their quarterly results and things like that. Before it was just a kind of, business as usual.
And let me just add one just more thing. If you remember very well, in that same period of 2007, 2008, even 2005, we had quite a lot of all these soft companies. We used to call them money banks or whatever it was, Wonder Banks. That were created, and so a lot of them were claiming that they are doing some kind of capital market operation as well.
Yeah.
And they are not registered with the SEC. For a long period of time, they were operating without anybody stopping them. But what you've seen recently is that any time anybody reports to SEC of an existence of such company, the SEC moved immediately to close them down. They just closed one in Ibadan recently, they closed one in Port Harcourt, closed one in Chukutu, before they become too big and they have carried a lot of money. So those are the kind of some strengthening of the activities of the regulator.
When we come back after this fairly short break, we're going to look at some of the changes that actually happened. Last year, we saw that the SEC actually constituted more capital market committees. So we'll just look at some of them and how well they performed and if they're going to do any better this year. Well, Business Morning will continue in just a moment. Please join us again.